Hello everyone. Thank you for joining. So today I am filming this on Father's Day. It may not go live on Father's Day, but I wanted to say Happy Father's Day to my dad. So since he had other plans for the day, yesterday we went to a couple of the nurseries we've been to before so that he could get plants for his porch. I didn't go intending to buy anything, but with me and plants, there's always the chance that I'm going to buy something. One of the things I love about these particular nurseries is they will give you small versions. I think that they propagate their own, so you don't always you can find fully older plants, but you can often find very small plants. So I found this Calathea White Fusion in a small form. Last time we were there, we saw the really big form. And I had heard a lot of various different things about this plant. And so I can say that I was a little afraid to get the bigger version if they're going to be that temperamental. Cost me $10, basically. And what I noticed is that there's a lot of stems that have been cut. And most likely these are cut because these leaves were not pretty for some reason. So my understanding is that Calathea leaves will often get brown, that they don't like certain types of water, and they're just kind of temperamental. So one of the really good things about what I do is I water with rainwater. And if I don't have rainwater, I'll water with treated water. So I hope that this will do well. Because of the size, I'm going to fit it into my terrarium, although some of those plants are getting pretty big. I still want to fit it into the terrarium, and I think it'll do well in there. It'll watered with rainwater, and I'm probably going to leave it in this pot for a while. Not going to repot it, not going to mess with it. See what happens. Yeah, I see we've got a brown leaf here, and like I said, I think that the nursery wanted to make it look pretty and make sure that the buyers would see just the good leaves. So this might tend to need a little bit of grooming off and on. So that's what I'm going to do. It was just such a pretty plant, such a good size. I know that if they are healthy and they do well, they're going to want to get really big. And I guess I'll cross that bridge when I get to it, right? So that's my Calathea White Fusion. That's sticky, but that's fine. The other thing I got at that particular greenhouse was this. Wow. I have been on a Tradescantia kick recently. I know that I've watched some videos where there's different types of advice for the Tradescantia and how they don't do well or they get leggy over time and all that. And, I understand that. And I bought cuttings from some of the nurseries, and the Tradescantia zebrina is just going crazy. It absolutely loves it in there. The white one, it's growing. It's not dead. It's not growing as fast, but it is white. And white plants tend to grow a little slower because they got a little less chlorophyll. So I get that. This is pretty. And I was really surprised. I've never seen this before. They call it I believe, Tradescantia rainbow. Let's see. It had a tag in it. Did I take the tag out? Oh, no, there's the tag. So it is a rainbow zebra, Tradescantia, is what it's called. I just was really attracted to the pink and how some of the leaves are. You got a lot of variety. Some are, straight up green. Some are nice and stripy. Some are pink. And then the ones on these tops, they are so pink. So I was really attracted to that. Picked it up right away. I made sure I got the one with the most pink on it because, why not? It was all the way at the back. I had to reach. I was like, hope nobody sees me doing this because I'm sure that's not an attractive sight. But yeah, I reached for it and I got it. So it is a beauty. So I walked out of that one place with these two things. I got the calathea and this lush Sabrina. The other thing that they had there were these really big nanooks. That's the one I wanted most because they were, I like pink plants. Like, let's not get that wrong. I like white plants and pink plants and orange plants, and I just like the ones that have these colors that are a little unusual. So I was disappointed because the nanooks were big compared to what I wanted to buy. I wanted something small, like a starter plant, to just fit it in, because I'm telling you, they are really starting to grow. I'll show you what they look like in the terrarium in a little bit. Now, I call it a terrarium. One of the things to note about that particular case is that it does have enough spaces that air does escape, humidity does escape. So it's not full-on humidity, but it does hold humidity as well. So it's not a full-on terrarium, but it does hold humidity. So everything in there tends to not need as much water. It'll come up in the app and I'll be like, okay, so it's time to water. No, it's really not. So it's kind of, that has been a judgment call. And so that's, I'll show you that a little bit later while I try to figure out where these are gonna go. Okay, so that's those. I'm gonna put them back in this little pot. Okay, this Tradescantia cost $6. And I was just like blown away. Like $6 is not a lot for a plant quite this big. Okay. So we went to another place and I saw this and I was like, oh, great. So this looks like a nanook to me. And I was really happy. I could be wrong. The nanooks at the other place were whiter with like purple in the back. These are pinker. And this is really what I wanted anyway. I wanted a pink plant with stripes, because that's what I thought a Tradescantia nanook was supposed to look like. I'm really happy with this. Once again, I'll probably leave it in this little pot, fit it into the terrarium, and then we're good to go. Oh, it's so cute. And so you'll see what I mean by, I didn't ever intend to have this many Tradescantias, but, you know, I do. Now, one of the things that in the terrarium, I've got 4 sachets of mites. Now, part of the reason was the pink syngonium had thrips on it. And it was in there, and I just assumed the whole thing must be infested. Now, I haven't seen any, which just astounds me. But I think I might get more mites for that case, for just like, you know, proactive purposes. All of those plants touch each other. There's just no getting around it. If one of them is going to be infested with something, they're all going to be infested with something. So 4 sachets of mites was potentially 4,000 mites crawling all over these plants looking for something to eat. We're getting close to like the 30-day mark where I probably should switch them out. So I really am considering doing that again. And since I stopped, oh, well, good news. I stopped with the poison on the on my syngonium because I don't see any new thrips. Now, the bad news is I saw thrips on the coleus, and I think it's because of the structure of a coleus leaf. Makes it so much easier for them to hide. Both of those pots of coleus went outside. Unfortunately, I didn't gradually put them outside. They got burned, they got beat up by the thunderstorm. They're probably going to go away. And it's funny because my dad was like, well, you're not going to miss them. No, I'm not. The ones outside are doing amazing. And so I should like probably insert a clip of what the outside coleus look like, because they're just, wow. The sweet potato vines are great. The coleus is great. Everything outside, you run a risk, but they look really nice. So yeah, that's where we are with the thrip situation. I seem to have beat it, but I don't know. My fingers are crossed. I think we're okay for now. Okay, so I got this at that second place, and I got this as well. So I was watching one of the creators, and she was shopping and she saw this and she was like, I don't know what that is. And she had to look, and I'm like, it's a black margin. Like, I like these a lot. Like, they have a really thin black margin on them. To me, I think it's kind of an odd name, but such a cute plant. So I got me a Hoya. I looked for $4. I looked through all of the cuttings. Oh, and I bought this one because it's got a vine with leaves. It's got another vine coming through. And this vine has little baby leaves on it too, which will, I probably will repot this because I like to have my Hoya in, maybe I won't do it today, but I will eventually do it. I like to have them in like an aroid mix, a really chunky mix. To me, this type of plant does better in that type of soil. But I think for, a week or two, it'll be okay in this one, and we'll just repot that. But yeah, I saw this, and they had two different kinds of Hoya, but this one just appealed to me, and it appealed to me just on like a sentimental level, and I think that's what plants are good for, right? Sentimental level. Like if I'm watching a show and I see it and I think to myself, oh, I know what that is. Like the thought of having one just appealed to me a lot, so that's why I bought it. And this one of all of them looked the most interesting and healthy. I was just thrilled. So I took a walk down that aisle a couple times, and I walked past. Well, I picked the Tradescantia up immediately because I knew this is wish list plant. I wanted it for a while. I bought it immediately. I walked by this one a couple times, thinking, do I really want another Hoya? I started out with one, and I guess that's really how we all start out, right? And I've become really a Hoya enthusiast. So this is, I'm really just thrilled. But I saw this. Now, I had a cutting of this type of plant from this same seller, and it didn't seem to do well in my care. And so I actually did throw it out. I walked past this one and I thought, okay, well, several hanging baskets of these. And I thought, well, do I want to get another cutting and try to grow it? Because I usually like to start out with a small plant and see if I can grow it, and there's less risk, there's less cost involved. And then if they don't make it, there's really less tragedy involved if it's a very small cutting and it doesn't make it. But my thought also with some of the less well-established plants is that, maybe they don't make it because they don't have the right roots, the right soil, the right whatever. They're just not set up to thrive. Whereas sometimes you'll get a more established plant and they will do better because they have the root system, they have, just the establishment over time to make it. And so this one, I walked by it a couple times, and it is a lifesaver plant. Oh my God. And it has a flower. And I made my dad smell it because I said, it looks like it should smell bad. And he said it doesn't. So I was like, oh wow, this is really cool. And then, oh, it bloomed. Oh, so it had a bud. And now I got a bloom. Like just overnight, this thing opened. Oh, it's so cool. So it does really look kind of nasty. It looks like it probably would smell bad. But, oh, it's so cute. I'm so pleased. So that's why I bought this established plant. Probably going to try to take the hanging thing off of it. It did grow underneath of it, and I don't want to hurt the plant. But I don't have any place to hang plants. I just don't. But I can sit it as a pot somewhere. And even with this amount of plant going on, it was $9. So I didn't really feel like I was losing a lot. Like if I'm an absolutely awful plant parent to this plant, I haven't really lost a lot of money. But oh my God, that is so beautiful. It's so unique. And I get the beauty's in the eye of the beholder, but this plant is just So unique. I'm very pleased. So, I mean, if you can't tell. So this is my plant haul. I did all these different things, and I was really, really pleased with what I found. Did not intend to buy plants, but you know, you don't always intend, and you find something really, really interesting and different. So, before I go, if you've made it this far, I wanted to let you know that I have started a new channel, and it's called Echo Grove Music. I will link it in the description. If you're interested, please take a look. If you're not, I fully understand. What I've discovered is the ability to make music with the help of some AI tools. I want to let you know that I understand that either my style may not be interesting to everyone, or the fact that I use AI tools might be offensive to some people. But I want to let you know that, you know, there's a real person behind Echo Grove Music. There's a real vision behind it. I've curated the songs, I've curated the lyrics, I've created all of these things, yes, with the help of AI tools. All of it was with a purpose. I did just create my first lyric-only video and post my song on Bandcamp. After I ran that video, what I realized was I have put something out there into the world that didn't exist before. And I put it out in the world in a way that it may never have existed. You know, if I wasn't encouraged, if I didn't believe in it, if I didn't try it, it wouldn't exist. Like, so we can say what we want about the AI tools. It's not a bot that created this. It's a person with the help of a couple of different kinds of bots. And I try to be very transparent about that, because I don't want people to think that it's something that it's not. But understand that behind it, there's intention. I fully intended what was created. I fully stand behind what I created. I'm just really excited about all of that. I want to let you know that this will still exist. I love my plants, and I will always love my plants. And I hope to bring you along on that journey. And if you feel like this is more real, you're welcome to join with, you know, just looking at what I bring into the world in terms of living, growing things. And then also, if you'd like to join me for the digital music, I am very happy to have everyone. But let's give you another shot of my pretty new plants. And I'll bring this over. And kind of see what the difference here is. That's one of the things I really like with Tradescantia, is they have a very similar, very interesting rosette type growth, and yet you can have very different types that I didn't know you could have so many different kinds of Tradescantia. And of course, Hoya are just amazing and varied, and just everything, you know. Okay, so this is what I have in my terrarium or Edwardian case, or whatever you want to call it for now. So I've added in the rainbow Tradescantia in the back. Next to it is a Peperomia Quito. Next to it I put the Calathea. Next to that is a lipstick plant. So it's cute, and it's, you know, it's growing. And then next to that is my Syngonium Silver Pearl. And if you recall, at a certain point in time, it had a lot of brown spots on it. And all of the new growth is so pristine. See, here's an example of where I have some brown spotting, and all the new growth is just so perfect. It needed the humidity. It likes the humidity in here. I've got sometimes this is considered a succulent, but I never had any good luck with the pink panthers as a succulent, so I put it in the terrarium. So it's going to get way more water than normal, and we'll see what happens with that. You see how the Zabrina is just taken off. Oh, so pretty. These are amazing little plants. They've got a little sheen to them, And I've always kind of liked them, but I didn't know how to take care of them. Put that in here. Okay, I'm going to need to water this, but I have a fern in here. It's a cute little zebra fern. It needs more water than some plants do, and it's doing iffy, but it's still going on. I have this nice little golden syngonium here, and I didn't ever have it outside of this case. It's doing amazing. And of course you've seen there's the Tradescantia. I've got the white one that had flowers on it when I bought it, and then the Zebrina I put in with it, and it's just so taken off. I put the Syngonium's Frosted Heart in here because it doesn't seem to be doing that great. It did pop out a new leaf, and it's just looking kind of so I think it really would appreciate the humidity. I put my Nanook down here, so it'll be near the others of its kind. And then I've got my Phoetonias next to that. So there's a lot of plants in here. You can see why having like the predatory mites was really important to me. Like I'm pretty sure that if anything has anything, everything will have something. So I'm not the greatest with quarantining and all the things that you're supposed to do. Oh, I didn't mention my Birkin. My Philodendron Birkin is here, and it's got a new leaf coming in. So I'm hopeful for that as well. I know they can get really big, as can these. And I just figure, if they survive and do well, that will have to be a bridge that I cross at a later time. I have 2 Quitos. One is outside of this case, one is inside of this case. And this is kind of an experiment because I wanted to see, what was the best environment for this type of plant. So far, they're both doing well. And I don't really know the answer to the question at this point. So we'll kind of see about that. I hope that this was an interesting little interlude here. Oh, my plants in my Edwardian case.